I still play the Wraithcaller, forcing to play the Ravine, right? Because what we're gonna do is that our board is now quote unquote clear. But look at this. Unless the opponent plays a random Ice Shard, my board is once again full of Mistwraiths. And now the opponent is forced to have the Avalanche one more time. Hey everyone, Sirturmund here again. And today we're bringing you some Kalista Nocturne Fearsomes. And the reason that we want to bring this deck back up is because of a new card that just got released into the game called Soul Cleave. Now what Soul Cleave does is that you kill an ally to summon 2 ephemeral copies of it. This synergizes so well with Wraithcaller, because when you kill your Wraithcaller, you're not only summoning 2 additional Wraithcallers, but you're also summoning the Mistwraiths that come out of that Wraithcaller. So all of a sudden, that like the Soul Cleave just makes your board so wide and makes your Mistwraith so big. That's the main combo of this deck. But Soul Cleave can also be used with stuff like Frenzy Skitterer. So imagine using the Skitterer to kind of like reduce the opponent's attack, and then you play Soul Cleave on it, you summon 2 more Skitterers, which are also reducing the opponent's attack and kind of buffing one of them. It can get pretty crazy at how much fearsome damage you can do with this deck. The rest of the deck is pretty straightforward, as all fearsome decks go, right? We're playing pretty much everything from the Shadow Out package, because we are relying on the Allegiance. We have the Risen Myth to rely on the Mistwraith. We have the Phantom Butler, the Host, the Precious Pet Onlooker, Horror, and the main deck Mistwraith. All of this is just fearsome cards that can let us advance our Nocturne. I prefer the Precious Pet exactly for that reason, because it's another fearsome, especially a 1-drop fearsome, that can let us advance our Nocturne early on to try to get him to level up. And then just like most of the fearsome decks, you're kind of finishing up a lot of times with Harrowing, if you're not finishing up with your Mistwraith and Wraithcaller to finish up the game. Other thing that I like here is the Mark of the Isles as a way for, especially for something like my Butler, to not die to like a Pokey Stick. And it can create some very interesting lethals that the opponent might not be expecting. This deck is pretty straightforward, and if you're looking for like quick matches, I definitely recommend this, because you can just high roll the crap out of your opponent by just hitting up all the Mistwraiths and buffing them up as much as possible and just pushing a ton of damage. And this card feels so good when you can pull it off, as you saw in the intro. But that's enough for me. I hope you enjoyed the games coming up soon. If you do, make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. If you stay to the end of the video, we'll do a more mulligan breakdown and also a further breakdown onto the deck. I usually put this at the end of the video now. So enjoy the games. In this matchup, we're going against Tristana Gnar. Okay, so it's gonna be kind of like a control type of deck. Man, I like the Nocturne a lot. Don't know that I like the Onlooker. I think I like the Butler. Okay, my hand ended up getting worse now. Was hoping that I could get like a different 1-drop or something similar that I could take advantage of, or a different 2-drop. Triple Nocturne. Yeah, okay, my hand is a lot worse. At least if I get a Harrowing eventually, that kind of be cool. Okay, this is a great combo though. Wraithcaller plus Soul Cleave is not bad. We can save the mana next turn and then play the Wraithcaller. I hope that the opponent doesn't have Disintegrate. Yeah, they go for the Pokey Stick. That's fine. You have to do it beforehand. That way my Nocturne doesn't actually get a level of progress. Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. I'm actually going to go for the combo. I don't think I'm going to play the Horror. Mayor? Huh. You might just... What am I thinking? It's not a control deck, right? Because the control deck plays Gnar. This is the aggressive deck, right? That plays Tristana Gnar. So I'm thinking of the wrong deck. So that means that they definitely don't play Disintegrate. For some reason, I automatically just assume... I automatically assume the Nora. This is a pretty huge attack, by the way. If the opponent has no way to beat this, because they don't have anything at fast speed that can deal with 3 HP. This is gonna be like this is the combo right here. Just like that. Turn 4, boom. I don't even care. You wanna get your block? Be my guest. No matter which one I put first, by the way, it doesn't matter, because he can always block with the Blast Concealing. So I'm just gonna put one of these so that the opponent has to actually try to trade with ephemerals, otherwise they take an additional damage here. They're incentivized not to trade because, wow. They're incentivized not to trade because they want to just push damage. They want to be able to have the aggressive, right? The problem is the Nocturne. The Nocturne is going to be the punish for them. Because I can start removing their fearsome blockers. I guess the problem is Tristana is going to be big enough, right? That she can just get away from that. But I don't see how we lose next time. We can play Butler, Horror, Nocturne. And then we have a full board of Fearsomes plus a Nocturne leveled up.
It's good to be the king.
I'm definitely willing to trade with the Blast Concealing. Maybe not. Maybe we just take that damage. Does he have 3 mana? No, he only has 1 mana. So the Reveler's Feast is not online yet. If they just go like this and just push the Sits. Okay, so they're gonna go all in. So the problem with this is that the opponent could have the Decimate, right? So let's say that the opponent has the Decimate. If that's the case, I'm just gonna block here. I don't need to block the rest. I think I want to keep the rest of my board. They attack with the cards that have 2 power because of they have potential for Decimate. That's also an amazing draw. So we go here. We only get rid of 1 fearsome blocker. But we still have 5 fearsome attackers, which is better than nothing. Opponent could have access to Buster Shot, but that's a slow speed action. Perfect. So then we go here, we get rid of the Grandfather Fae, as well as the Blast Concealing. You can summon another blocker here, but you're still only gonna have 4 to our 5 attackers. So you're still only gonna have 4 to our 5 attackers. I guess the opponent could have a defensive Reveler's Feast, right? So the opponent could have a defensive Reveler's Feast, which is a thing. We go here. We get to kill Tristana at least. Now we need a Harrowing. So the defensive Reveler's Feast does get them there. They have to block everything.
Big mistake.
They have to block everything. I guess like they could also have like a Fervor. They needed 1 more fearsome blocker. That's why I could only get rid of 1 unit last turn. If I block the 2 power units just to trade, we will have enough units to present this lethal. So there we go. GG's. In this matchup, we're going against Ryze. Now, the concern with Ryze is all the recalls, right? So we have to try to go, okay, and also the deny. The deny makes this like really bad for us. I think the recent mix is good later. I think I'm going to go host, just going to have like an early hand. Kalista is pretty good. The problem again is the recall, right? It's too easy for the opponent to just recall Kalista, but because we have the Soul Cleave, Kalista is not bad. We don't have a lot of like because we have the Soul Cleave. I wish we had the Wraithcaller, but it's also very vulnerable to quite a few things, so maybe not.
The spirit gives to those who listen.
I was wondering if it's better to do the Butler or do this, guys. I think I am gonna play the Kalista now. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and play the Kalista now, just so that the opponent starts getting rid of these units. We still get value from her. We keep this back as a way to eat up the Shard of Betrayal, because this is not gonna push damage anyways, right? Like if the opponent has Shard, and actually if the opponent plays the Shard of Betrayal right now, it's just helping us out because it's gonna give us the Hallow trigger for my units to push an additional damage that they wouldn't have pushed otherwise. The problem is that the opponent did get the Eye of the Dragon, so obviously Eye of the Dragon is gonna do Eye of the Dragon shenanigans and etc, etc. Notice that the opponent kept the Shard back. I'm pretty sure they have the Shard Betrayal. Okay, so they're just gonna go for the Dragon Link and just heal up 2 of the damage that we're dealing here. Okay, or they have 2 Fearsome blockers. Sure. I'm also okay with this. Kalista being a 1 doesn't matter to us because the opponent usually doesn't have a way to kill the Kalista.
Raindrops.
And we just got rid of 2 fearsome blockers like that. We don't push any damage, but I mean the opponent was going to start healing up anyways. So they have 1 shard and something from Time Trick, right? I'm going to keep the Soul Cleave. I'm going to keep the Soul Cleave. I'm going to go here and then I'm going to go Precious Pet into Nocturne so that we can drag the Eye of the Dragon. I think I need to drag this Eye of the Dragon. Again, this, guys, it makes it so that the opponent pick the Shower Betrayal. It makes it really awkward for them because they're just going to be leveling up our Kalista. They had, okay, yeah, there you go. They did choose the Shower Betrayal. That's what I figured. Like, the fact that they held the last turn to prevent our value told me everything I needed to know. The funny thing is that if they play another shard now next turn, they're just gonna level up Kalista for us. Ah, okay. So they decided to reset the Kalista level up. I guess we go ahead and still play her. Yeah, we're still gonna go and play her. It kind of sucks, right? We lose the level of progress. So now if the opponent has another shard, it's not gonna be as impactful. However, now we can just play Nocturne and drag this Eye of the Dragon. I think we need to drag the Eye of the Dragon out of here. Otherwise, I'm gonna be in a really bad spot with this. We still keep this to eat up the Shower Betrayals. Okay, so the opponent even gets more value here. Let's spread it out like this. I want to keep my Nocturne on the field. Actually, wait. This gives me... I didn't realize that the Nocturne was so close to leveling up, to be honest. Yeah, I didn't even realize that Nocturne was this close to leveling up. Wow. So we go like this. We have Fearsome everywhere. I still think it's worth it to pull... the Eye of the Dragon. By the way. Because I think like this healing is a little bit too much over time. So by pulling the Eye of the Dragon, we're able to stop some of the healing that might happen. Opponent's down to just 2 cards. Yeah, there you go. They just have so much healing that I want to prevent that. So I think it's correct to pull the Eye of the Dragon. The Dragon Link doesn't matter by next turn anymore. So I mean, after this is whatever. Sure. Again, I don't need to do anything right now. I kind of want to... Yeah, no, let's just play now. Sets me up for a big open attack, right? Opponent plays the Shard, kills the host. Their Dragon Link doesn't matter. And we just have to try to set up like a big attack now. Because of the Ryze Miss. Yeah, you need the draw. That's a great draw on their part. Although the stun would have been good for them too. Actually, he picked the spider. It would have been. It's a 50-50 because they both have the same stats and the same cost. Let's go here. Let's go here again. Let's make it so that the host goes first. From solo, wow, they getting a lot of draw. It's exactly 19, so they need to have another recall or a stun. They have the recall? They might have the recall here. The only downside to buffing up this host is that if the opponent has another shard, it's gonna kill one of my Mistwraiths instead. But my guess is that the opponent doesn't have enough mana, right? Because they need to use up all their mana just to keep themselves alive. So I suspect that they don't. And again, the Eye of the Dragon is still keeping them semi-healthy, right? We might sacrifice the host this time. This is the problem with this Ryze deck. They have so much draw. I guess we don't need to sacrifice the host. The opponent's gonna do it for us. Yeah, opponent's gonna do it for us. Cool. We have the Black Spear, so we can potentially kill something that comes out. We play Nocturne. Opponent plays another shard. He's just leveling up our Kalista. Ryze, alright.
My name is Ryze.
My name is Ryze. Here's the question.
I will stand this madness no longer.
I'm gonna let this go, because if I play the Wraithcaller... No, it's still gonna kill, right? If I just let this go... I could also just play the Wraithcaller now. No, yeah, let's just play the Wraithcaller now. It makes it so that if the Ryze attack, opponent's just gonna lose the Ryze against my Nocturne. So if the opponent attacks with Ryze here, they're just literally giving the Ryze for free. They want to attack with Ryze to trigger their shards, but that's just giving me the Ryze for free. It sucks because we don't get to level up the Kalista, but we still have a Nocturne and we still have a 6-wide board, so it means that we have the Fearsome. If I let them attack, I could have sacrificed Nocturne to block the Ryze, but I think that would have been slightly worse. The opponent can still choose to attack, but again, it's just leveling up the Kalista, so it doesn't make sense for them. At most, they should still replace... I mean, they're spending 2 mana. I was going to say, you should still replace that, right? But it's the same thing. We can just level up Kalista. Which I don't hate. I don't hate leveling up this Kalista here. He's bringing back a Mistwraith, because he's the strongest thing that has died, right? Because he has 4. Yeah. They're digging for answers. They're digging for answers. I kind of want to see the Kalista level up. It also makes it so that when we bring down the Mistwraith, like if we sacrifice the Mistwraith, we're bringing another one back with Kalista, because the Wraithcaller hasn't died yet. And the other cards that have died have been like Hose and the Spider, which means that it's gonna buff up the other Wraiths. So yeah, so we go like this. We block it here. Kalista levels up, brings back another Wraith. Kalista herself also has more power now as well. It does mean that the opponent could block the Kalista, and that denies 2 of the damage. I guess that's the only downside to that play.
Now you will understand.
Yeah, I guess that is a downside that I didn't think about. And giving the opponent the chance. What if we actually just develop? How crazy is it to just develop? I don't think it's that crazy. I think we just develop and get rid of the Ryze blocker, so that the opponent has no way to deal with the Kalista. He also saves me against random things like a Twin, if the opponent has one for some reason. Now the opponent could get another shard and get the stun. I just want to put the Ryze out of range so that it cannot block the Kalista. If the opponent kills one of my units, we can also Soul Cleave. Yeah, I think it's fine to develop, because everything that the opponent has to answer us is fast speed anyways, right? Except for like a shard. So I don't think the open attack was as strong. So, GG's. We get to Diamond 1. Look at that. In this matchup, we're going against Thralls. Ooh. Okay, so the Ravines and the Avalanche are both potentially really, really bad for us. The good thing is that the opponents have a lot of Fearsome blockers. I'm gonna kick the Horror, and I'm gonna just go for the Mistwraith game plan. Definitely Mistwraith game plan, right? So, I probably should play around the Avalanche if the opponent keeps the 4 mana for turn 4. Oh wow, yeah, this is definitely a Mistwraith game plan. Soul Cleave into the Wraithcaller, pretty darn good. That's actually amazing, because even if the opponent has a Ravine or an Avalanche, I can actually just bounce back my board, right? So even if the opponent has one or the other, I can still bounce back my board. Do we play for the Risen Myths here? I don't think so, right? I think I just go Mistwraith into Onlooker. If the opponent has Avalanche, I don't respect it. Because I can just go Onlooker here and just pushing 10 damage. Yeah, the recent myth would have been a little bit lower value. I think I just forced them to actually have the answer, and if they don't, they don't. If the opponent has the Rabin here, this could be unfortunate. Let's say that the opponent has the Rabin here. I think I still play the Wraithcaller, force them to play the Rabin, right? Because what we're gonna do is that our board is now quote-unquote clear. But look at this. Unless the opponent plays a random Ice Shard, my board is once again full of Mistwraiths. And now the opponent is forced to have the Avalanche one more time. And if they don't have the Avalanche, then we can play Butler plus Precious Pet. Do I respect it? No. You know what the opponent has? Opponent has the Sitzka spell, right? Opponent has the Sitzka spell, so I'm just gonna go like this. I'm not gonna respect the Avalanche. If the opponent has the Sitzka spell, playing the Precious Pet doesn't matter. Because regardless, the opponent still gets their block out. So we're just gonna attack with everything. Yeah, there you go. Sense of Times. If that is still enough to get you, the Sense of Times would have gotten this to 0. So it would have been enough damage anyways. The opponent goes down to 1 HP, and we still have a pretty good board to kind of bounce back. 1 HP. Imagine if I had a Mark of the Isles here. That would have been lethal. Instant Sentry, we'll give them the blocker. Opponent could have 2 blockers here if they have the 5-drop, right? Inquisitor. The thing is that if they tap out, or Talia gives them actually 3 blockers. Talia gives them 3 blockers. Inquisitor gives them 3 blockers as well. And the Lysandra also levels up. So we're gonna go like this. We're gonna leave the board space for the Risen Mist. Right, so we're gonna leave the board space for the Risen Myth. Opponent, did they get the Ice Shard? I can't remember. No, they don't get. Yeah, they do get the Ice Shard because he levels up at the end of the turn. Yep. That's what I needed last turn. The funny thing is that even if the opponent has blockers, they still lose the Frozen Guards. This is gonna quote unquote die to the Ice Shard, but we have the Mark of the Isles to keep it alive. So because we have the Mark of the Isles, we can actually keep this alive. And that's a sack lethal here. Boom. It was lethal anyways, even without the Mark of the Isles, but I wanted to show up. It was lethal because this is still pushing 1. Yeah, this was the perfect example of like a Mistwraith game where you just cannot just push through the opponent and there's like nothing that they can do about it. Especially something like Thralls that tends to play quite a bit slower, so GG's. In this matchup, we're going against Vayne Gwen. I haven't seen this deck since Vayne got nerfed. And for good reason, to be honest. I don't think it's that great anymore. This is such a tempting hand. I think I'm not going to keep the Risen Myths. I think I like the Wraithcaller, but the Risen Myths is a little bit too expensive. This is a curve. Wow, this is a curve. This is an amazing curve. Heck, opponent doesn't even have a 1-drop to block this. That's even better. Wow. We play Kalista, we play Horror. We play Horror and then Kalista. Double Soul Cleave from the Wraithcallers. 89 count, wow. Didn't expect that. Let's play Kalista here. I think we attack with everything anyways. As long as the opponent doesn't play... Okay, yeah, if the opponent's playing that, maybe we just attack like this. Let them block this here. If they want to block Kalista, that's okay, but the Kalista will stay alive. At this point, we can try to see if we can level up Kalista. Nope, opponent's going to choose to attack here. Maybe they have like a catch. Right? Catch is a Decimate spell, right? At Demacia spell. Maybe they do play Battle Feast as well and they just want to kill the Kalista, but again, that's cool with me. Like, you just gave me the chance to have Kalista on the field. Honestly, the downside here is that I don't have board space for Soul Cleave. Like that's the only downside here. We're gonna need to kind of like clear our whole board for us to have board space for Soul Cleave. And down to just block this. Okay, so they do have the Battle Feast. Look at that. They do have the Battle Feast. Opponent just gave us the space that we have the space for the Soul Cleave now, right? Yeah, I always have to think in my head how much space I need, because this Wraithcaller is gonna die, right? So this Wraithcaller is gonna die. I don't think I respect it. Okay, now I don't respect the Concerted Strike. The single combat could still kill me. No, they don't have it. And there we go. Now what? Now what, opponent? It's pretty good. That's a pretty good Soul Cleave. The only downside is that my Wraithcaller dies, so we don't have enough. We don't have another Wraithcaller for the Soul Cleave. The single combat would have killed us, but they would have to sacrifice their Vayne to do it, right? Which I would have been okay taking that trade as well. Concerted Strike wouldn't have worked because we can mark the Isles and keep our unit alive. What? Oh, I was like, why are they doing that? But it's because they have... I was so confused. I was like, why are they doing that? It's because they have the Hallow trigger. They wanted to just kill one of my Mistwraiths. So I'm gonna put this one first and spread out my damage everywhere else. Make it so that every one of my units can kill the Vayne. Nocturne is now leveled up, right? Yeah. Putting us down to 6 HP, and we still have 3 Fearsomes to go with. We can play the host so that we can block this guy. Yeah, you have to block everything. If they don't block everything, they lose to the Mark of the Owls, right? So they have to block everything. We play the host, which gives me a blocker for the Ghostly Band. And we have another Soul Cleave for a future turn to kind of set up. Opponent's kind of down on resources, and we still have 3 units. What? 5? 4 now, obviously. Maybe I don't even block, to be honest. Yeah, I don't think I even block anymore. Yeah, I don't think I even block that. I think we just go ahead and just have our 5 wide board. You can tumble as well. Again, I don't respect any of your damage. They can tumble, and all that's gonna do is gonna push, I guess, 6 plus 2, 8. Yeah, you push your 8 damage. Actually, you know what? This I can block with the host, right? Because regardless, the host is gonna get blocked by that Prodigy because the host doesn't have Fearsome, so that I can block with the host. We go like this. Opponent's digging for the glimpse and it's not gonna do anything for them. We open attack, opponent has no blockers, we have access to a Mark of the Isles, and that should be game. Let's spread it out again. Oh, how greedy is this? You know what? Let's get my mastery points. Let's get my mastery points and Nocturne. Let's just have some fun. Let's get my mastery points on the Nocturne. Because this is the fun part. Even if the opponent has a Fearsome blocker, we just Soul Cleave. And we're okay, right? I want to Soul Cleave. I want to have fun. I'm gonna Soul Cleave. And just have two more of these guys. I'm sorry, opponent. Cataclysm again. Hey, they killed my Nocturne at least. They got to kill my Nocturne, just barely. Yeah, I can't even be upset about the surrender. I kind of just threw you around. GG's. In this matchup, we're gonna against GP Sejuani. If they get access to Spirits Unleashed early, then I think I don't like the Butler, right? I don't like the Butler because he has 1 health. So it's like it's signed to a make it rain on a parley. Mistwraith and Rested Myth are not bad. Oh. We get the Onlooker, which again has the same problem that the Butler had. I guess we can use the Onlooker as a turn 1 blocker. If the opponent has Spirits Unleashed, I'm in big trouble. Because if they have Spirits Unleashed, then they'll be able to have all the units become Fearsome blockers. They also kept their whole hand, so it tells me that there's a good chance that they do actually have that Spirits Unleashed. We're gonna go for the Mistwraith now. Opponent gets the Mirai Warden. Luckily, he doesn't get anything crazy. Might have to just take that damage, to be honest. Cool. Let's go here. So I'm thinking Phantom Butler, Onlooker, next turn. I'm thinking Phantom Butler, Onlooker. Yeah, opponent's just gonna make it rain. And if they have the Spirits Unleashed next turn, then I'm just dying, right? So in which case, okay. So the fact that they did the parley now tells me that they don't have the Spirits Unleashed next turn. They could still have a Make It Rain here. I still think this is the best chance for me to play the Onlooker. Right, so this is the best time for me to play the Onlookers. Just push all this damage. That's 8, 11. How close is this? 14? Nocturne level sub now. And then next time we can go Wraithcaller. Opponent's still pretty far away from leveling up their champions. This is only... we can block with this Onlooker, so we're not even taking all that damage. GP. We go here. We sacrifice these two guys. Do we even need to sacrifice them anymore? You're still not leveled up. You just gave me a space for the Wraithcaller. Okay, we definitely sacrificed some of these guys. Actually, we can just go... If we go host now, it doesn't matter because they still push 1. No, we go host right now for sure. Let's just make their attack worse. I'm still sacrificing one of these, right? I think it's still correct to sacrifice one of these. We go down to sit. We have enough space for the Wraithcaller. And we're chilling. Opponent still doesn't have a level of Sejuani, so we can also just open attack. Because the Wraithcaller doesn't really do anything for us. I think I like the Wraithcaller. I think I'm gonna go all in. We can always develop the host as well, even if the opponent has to make it rain. Because even if the opponent has Sejuani, it doesn't do anything. All it does is just freeze my Nocturne, and then we can just play the host, which gets rid of the Gangplank as a blocker. And opponent was still 2 away from Sejuani, so yeah, that was completely safe, so GG's. In this matchup, we're going against Ryze. Usually, we do okay, right? Because if we get a good early hand, we can kind of like outrun all our Fearsomes. This hand is not what I'm talking about, though. I hate kicking the Wraithcaller, but I think I need to see if I can find a 1-drop or a 2-drop, and I think I prefer to have both my champions online. This is not the 1-drop that we want either. This is, though. I think I'm gonna go host and Onlooker to start out with.
A brief engagement, but a joyous one.
Yeah, let's just go like this. This lets me push 6 damage right away. Usually this deck doesn't have anything to do on turn 2. I guess you could have they could have the Scuttler Crab, right, to kill this if they wanted to. They could have the Crab to kill this. That was a lot of thinking for doing nothing. We can play Kalista. I wish I could get my Kalista out before the Shower Betrayal comes out. The funny thing is that the Shower Betrayal is just... Yeah. If they get the Shower Betrayal here, then it sucks not to have our Kalista on the field. But they got the priority. Okay, so it's Shard of Reverence. They decide to go for the mana, which makes sense. It does make it nice now, because if they go for... Let's go host. Let's go horror, not host, sorry. If opponent plays the Ryze, it's a little bit awkward, right? This Soul Cleave, this is the one matchup where Soul Cleave is not amazing. Because the Soul Cleave can get denied by Unworthy Soul, Homecoming, Deny Itself, etc, etc. Opponents trying to use up their mana before they play the shard. That way they get their mana back. There you go. So they get their mana back and even get some healing out of it. I think I just attack, right? I don't see a world where the cleave is actually correct. You know, I do see a world where it's correct. I think we take it out now. I think we take, if the opponent has a recall, use it up right now. This is 2-board leveling our Kalista, right? So if you have a recall, yeah, perfect. I wanna bait out that recall now, right? So I wanna bait out that recall right now. Instead of doing it later, we still go ahead and attack with both. This also gives me the 1-drop back, so that now we can go 1-drop into Nocturne. To tag, I guess. Do I even want to tag this out of the dragon though? Yeah, because now everything's gonna have Fearsome. We just still keep that. We take the 2 because we want to keep this as a target for the Shower Betrayals. We play the Nocturne, we put it on the Ryze. Allow me to pull the Ryze. Boom. Might actually go for... yeah, let's just go for the Fearsome Mistwraiths. I was thinking maybe we play Skitterer, but I don't think it's necessary. I think we just go like this. Everything has Fearsome. We can go pull this one here. Leave Kalista last. I don't think I'm scared of dying to the Ryze just yet. Oh, because the opponent needs to spend all their mana here just to survive. Opponent needs to spend all their mana here just to survive. Time trick, so that's, which means that it should leave them with no mana to actually be able to try to go for the lead on that step. To be fair, they do have the Shard Reverence, which could be a problem. Yeah, this is not enough to survive. You're gonna have to spend something else, my friend. There's the Mark of the Isles. And then with 2 mana, there shouldn't be anything that they have, and there you go. Yeah, with Ryze, we can just kind of go a lot faster than them to stop them from actually be able to stabilize and get to their win condition. So, GG's. Hey, welcome back everybody. Hope you enjoyed today's games. You kind of see what I'm talking about when I say that you can just high-roll the crap out of people with this. Because you saw in that Thralls game, we literally lost 3 of our Mistwraiths to that Rabin. And it didn't even matter because then we could just Soul Cleave into the Wraithcaller and we have a full board again. Just like that. Super, super easy. Honestly, this deck feels really, really solid because of the Soul Cleave. It feels so, so nice, to be honest. It is a little bit harder against Ionia, but even then, like for example the Ryze decks, you kind of see how quickly we can just outrun them anyways, just because we have Fearsome. A lot of decks are not running Fearsome blockers these days, especially those Ionia decks. So even though your Soul Cleave is not a good strategy against Ionia because they can recall your target or deny it, it is still good enough because the deck is still good enough against them because you can just overrun them with the Fearsome. So when you're going against Ionia and kind of decks like that can disrupt your Soul Cleave, you want to just focus on your Fearsome units themselves. If you're going against a deck that doesn't have disruption for your Soul Cleave, then that's when you kind of want to keep the Soul Cleave and potentially set up the combo with the Wraithcaller, etc. Now, be mindful of your board space. You kind of saw there that sometimes you struggle with the board space when you try to do Soul Cleave. If you're going to go Soul Cleave on your Wraithcaller, you can only have Wraithcaller plus another unit in your board. Because when you kill that Wraithcaller, you're going to summon... No, sorry. You could have... See, even I get confused sometimes. You can actually have Wraithcaller plus 2 more units in your field. Because when you kill that Wraithcaller, it gets out of the board and you summon another 2 Wraithcallers and another 2 Mistwraiths. So at most, you can only have 3 units on the field, including the Wraithcaller, if you're going to go Soul Cleave on the Wraithcaller. So you're just going to keep that in mind when you're planning out your board space. Aside from that, every one of your other units, like the Skitterer, all you need to have is just an additional board space. Because again, the initial target from the Soul Cleave gets killed, right? Allowing you to actually get that Soul Cleave, allowing you to get that value off, even if you have 5 units on the field. Other tests from this deck is really like just go for you gotta think about what your hand looks like. If your hand looks like a lot of Mistwraith, then that's what you want to keep in your hand. If it doesn't look a lot of Mistwraith, then you kind of can start focusing on more Kalista and Nocturne, because the deck can kind of go ahead in two different game plans. You kind of saw in some hands that I had, if I saw that I had a Mistwraith and a Wraithcaller, then I end up kicking all my other early units away, because I know that on turn 3 I just want to play the, and on turn 2 I just want to play the Mistwraith and not play like the Butler or other stuff or my other units, right? Because I'm just gonna focus on the Mistwraith. If I don't get any Mistwraith early, then that I kind of just end up focusing on my other early units instead. So in terms of mulligan, definitely go for an early boar. Ideally, Precious Pet is one of the best cards that you can get in your hand. You always want to keep it because it's right away a fearsome unit that you can push damage with. I like to keep the Onlooker if I'm attacking on turn 2 and I already have another 1-drop. So if I already have another 1-drop and I'm attacking on turn 2, then the Onlooker is a really great card, as you saw against the Ryze deck, because you can push that damage right away on turn 2. Otherwise, I don't mind kicking it if it's to look for other like 2-drop cards. If I already have a Wraithcaller, maybe I'm keeping the Soul Cleave against everything except for Ionia and potentially Shadow Owls or PNC that can kill my units. Otherwise, you also want to just kick the Soul Cleaver and instead try to actually mulligan for your units. Obviously, both champions are also important to keep. I actually tend to keep one of each if I already have a good enough early board, but even sometimes if I don't, I'd rather just keep the champions and try to look for those early units as the game goes on. So that's all the advice and the mulligan tips that I can give you with this deck to help you play them better. Otherwise, just kind of look at the things that I did in this video today to kind of learn the way that I pilot it. That'll be it for me today. Hope you enjoyed today's games. If you did, make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post a lot of videos every single day. You can also find us on Twitch at Sirturmund, where we stream every now and then. And you can also find us on Discord and Twitter. The links to those are both in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again tomorrow.